Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a very special video since I finally got a hold of my complete selection Modification Diendriver with Diendriver belt set. Now, I got this from Riderproxy for a really good deal actually. I'm actually quite impressed at the price that I was able to get it from her. And I'm very glad to finally get a hold of this particular item. Anyways, it's in the exclusive mailer box, as you can probably see from maybe the fig arts also, and it's really nice and all that, but that's not the main focus. We're going to look at what's inside the box. So anyways, we're going to open up and see what's inside. First, obviously, we're just going to open the mailer, and inside, we got this really nice looking Diendriver box. I really enjoy what Bandai's done for the overall look of the Diendriver, so we're just going to take this out to the side and take a look at the box itself. And the box shows a picture of Diend, complete selection modification. The Bandai logo is normal. And on the back, it's just pretty much the usual information. Nothing too spectacular there. However, on the inside, we actually got another insert, which shows a picture of Diend along the Diendriver. And I think that looks really awesome. Anyways, going to open it up and look at the content inside. Anyways, the set includes a couple things. One includes 39 cards, which are actually made out of the plastic material, similar to how they released both the complete selection version of the Decadriver and the Super Best, which are actually made of this really nice plastic material rather than the very flimsy cardboard. So, inside, obviously, we got the Diendriver itself, which is pretty much the same mold, mostly, to the deluxe release that was released during Decade. However, they actually created this tip with die cast, which is really cool, and it actually has a scanner, unlike the very underwhelming regular deluxe release. It also includes a deluxe mounted belt, which unfortunately doesn't really fit me. Being a kind of slightly more heftier doll, it's not going to really work too well on me. I really wish it had a second way that you can pull a strap here. As you can see, it's only one side of extension, which is a bit unfortunate. The back piece also has a Velcro strap and so on. It has the card holder, which can carry about 20 or so cards. I don't remember exactly how much. It's also attached via a Velcro strap. This really nice belt piece, and the Diendriver logo, which this is pretty much the same mold as the complete selection Modification Decadriver one, which this piece actually is removable, as you can see. But it has a hard time actually coming out. It's easy to actually put it back on. Anyways, but that's not the main feature of the toy. The main feature is the Diendriver itself. So, we're going to look over this and along with the associated sounds. So, as normal, we're going to turn it on using the switch right there. So, here we go. And it's got a really nice sound. The main feature with the, the Diendriver alone is this. As you can see, when you just press the trigger, the lights shine and it has a really nice sound. And also, come to this, but that alone doesn't do anything else on its own, because you need to have the cards in order for it to fully function. Inside here, we got several cards, which I've just taken out, pretty much the attack rides and skull. I just wanted to put them separate. But anyways, we're going to take a look at both the henshin cards first. So, here we go. First, we're going to slide this in. And it makes that sound when you slide it in. It can actually hold a couple of them, just like it does in the show, but only the first one you put in there will actually make that sliding sound. So here we go. Henshin. Man, that is glorious that it can finally do that after all these years. What's also cool is that it actually includes a second version of Diend's card. For those who haven't watched Decade, there was actually a special crossover with Shinkenger, where actually one of the Kaijin, like basically just one of the monsters, actually took the Diendriver and turned into Diend. So as you can see, it's got his version of the symbol, and now we're gonna put it inside the driver. So there we go, we slide this in. And this is cool because it actually even includes the modified sound when he henshins. So here we go. So yeah, it is quite different compared to the regular Diend henshin sound. So we're just going to take these cards out since we're going to have to put in a lot of cards in a minute. So that's it for just those standard henshin sounds. However, it also includes the Diend complete card, which I think it is in the show, but it's just one of those things where it goes on top of his head and all that. Not something he actually used, since he actually used, in the movie, he actually used the DNK touch, which isn't out yet, but it might actually get released. So here we go. So that's pretty cool. Now, we're just going to take this out, since we're actually going to go ahead and go through all of his attack ride cards. So first, these cards are kind of hard to pick up since they're made of the plastic material, so we're just going to put them onto the side. And now go on to its several attack ride cards. So here we go. First, we're going to start with Blast. Next, we're going to go with Cross Attack. Barrier. Once you get in 2 cards, it gets kind of hard to actually put in more, but it can actually carry about 4 cards. There we go. And then Illusion, but for those who know, actually has a different way it's pronounced, so it actually sounds really funny when actually activates. There we go. The end sounds all generic like it does in the show, but anyways, we're going to take the cards out, which can be a bit tricky as well, so bear in mind here. And now, we're going to go under Invisible, which he used quite a bit in order to disappear from action. And then, Geki Joban, which was also used in the same movie, which I can't remember the name on the top of my head which movie it was, but it was the one where they crossovered with Deno, if I remember correctly, and they actually had new Deno in there. And G. Deno, I think that was his name. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so. So it's really awesome that actually includes that card. And then, obviously, Final Attack Ride. So here we go. So that's pretty cool. So, now that we got the attack rides and the henshin sounds out of the way, we'll now be able to move on to all the other common ride cards that this set includes. So we're just going to quickly put this out to the side, and I'll be back after I put the cards away and look at the next set. In respect, now we're just going to go over the other cards that the set included. So there we go. First, we're going to start with G3. Next, we're going to go to G4. Next, we're going to go to Oja, or known as Kamen Rider Strike from Dragon Knight in America. Next, we're going to look at Scissors, or known as Incisor in Dragon Knight. So here we go. Now, since the slot is full, we're just going to take these out. And go under the next set. So now we're going to start with Guy, or known as Thrust in Dragon Knight. Kamen Rider Sting, which is, Kamen Rider Raya, which is known as Sting in Dragon Knight. Kamen Rider Ryuga, which is known as Onyx in Dragon Eye. And I think it can hold one more, which will be Fem, or Fam, known as Siren in Dragonite. So let's see, here we go. Yep, it can carry at least one more, so there we go. So unfortunately, unlike what happened in Kamen Rider Decay, this cannot be allowed to do the multiple summoning like he actually did on the show. Which I think is just kind of a thing that they added for just to make things easier, but it physically cannot actually accomplish that, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's still cool for what it is. Anyways, we'll now go on to the next riders, which are the Rider Troopers from Kamen Rider Faiz. Kamen Rider Kaitsa, which I actually own an official decayed version of, which is kind of funny. Just one of the cards that were actually with, if I remember correctly, the Rider book when I got it. Kamen Rider Delta, also from Kamen Rider Faiz. And for now, Kamen Rider Saiga, also from Kamen Rider Faiz. There we go. And obviously we need to reload, so we're going to pull out cards again. So unlike the Decadriver, there is an extra step that you kind of need to do to just kind of clear out the way, so just going to put these away. And now we'll go under Orga. So there we go. Kamen Rider Glaive, since now we'll be moving to Kamen Rider Blade. And that's the only card that they actually included for Blade, since now we're going to move on to Hibiki. Here is Ibuki. And then I think I can carry one more, so we're going to look at Todoroki first. Now we're going to have to reload, so first we're going to take out the cards. Let's see. Now we're going to look at Zanki. And to finish it off, Kamen Rider Kabuki, or Kabuki, from Kamen Rider Hibiki. And that finishes off Hibiki. So now we're going to move on to the three riders from Godspeed Love. So I'm going to quickly take these out first so we can put them all together in one set. So there we go. First we're going to start with Caucasus. Kamen Rider Keteros. I'm going to put my cover position here. And then Kamen Rider Hercus. So there we go. And now we're going to finish it off with Punch Hopper, because for some reason actually they did not include Kick Hopper, which is weird. So here we go.
Punch Hopper.
Now we're going to have to reload again, so yeah, just bear in mind that you can only carry about 4 cards at a time, so I'm just going to slide them out so we can get them out of the way. Card got kind of bent, but anyways, now we're going to look under the rest of the Kabuto Riders, so we're going to first start with the sword. Then Drake to finish off the Kabuto Riders. And then we're going to move on to the Kiva Riders. So first we're going to start off with Ixa. And then we're going to clear it out for the next set, which are actually the last 4 cards that are included with just the Diendriver. So we're going to move these off to the side. Go on with Ray. Sometimes it doesn't read. Saga. And the final Kamen Rider for Kamen Rider Kiva, which is Arc. And then the final Kamen Rider card that the set includes is Kamen Rider Skull. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Diendriver in a nutshell. It actually includes some really nice selection of cards, and the fact that it has a reader makes it really worth the money that it was actually set for Premium Bandai. Now, obviously, it would have been a lot better if they just released it with the sounds in the first place, but it is still nice that they remedied the situation to this point. Now, just as a bonus, we're actually going to play one more sound from one of the older Gambarai cards that I got, because for some reason, one of the old cards actually has an extra has a weird scan, which for some reason I have no idea why it actually does this. So this is just something bonus. So we're just going to put out one of the extra Gambarai cards that I have here, which is just one they released during Decade. So just to prove that it still works. But for some reason, instead of just an attack ride, generic Showa or something, it actually reads as something completely different, which we'll now look at for now. So yeah, anything under the Showa Riders which I have, for some reason, all read as barrier. For some bizarre reason. I have no idea what caused that. They probably just used a similar scan for that. But anyways, this is definitely a really nice set to get a hold of, especially since the box looks really nice alone. But just having this Diendriver makes it a whole lot more worth it now that it fully is able to scan the cards and work like it should have in the first place. While the belt is really nice, it's just something that they added on. And it's nice to kind of hold on to it, I guess, since it does have the Diendriver symbol and so on. And hopefully maybe one day we'll also see the look at the DNK Touch if they ever decide to release it. So overall, this is still a really nice set to get a hold of. And out of all the complete selection modifications released so far, this it has to be the most needed change for any of the Kamen Rider releases in this particular line, since now they actually went ahead and actually fixed the problem that they had when they initially released this particular driver. So I highly recommend picking this up, and hopefully you'll be able to find it for a pretty decent price. It is a bit hard to come by, and I haven't seen it really that much on the secondary market at the moment for what I can tell, But if you're able to track it down, maybe ask a middleman to help you and so on, you'll probably be able to get a hold of one of these, and it's definitely a really nice set to get a hold of. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku, since this video will be up there at one point. Also, please check out the other channels down below, including the WW Podcast and more. And please check out me on Twitter under Darkon633, and I'll be seeing you too. Bye.